Hello and welcome to my tell all YouTube live where I'm going to really dig a little bit deep and talk about some of these unpopular truths that you just honestly cannot escape if you are thinking about growing your business on YouTube. So I have been doing YouTube for probably since 2017, I want to say. And it's one of those things where you kind of go through these ebbs and flows. And so there's some things that people don't really talk about. And I want to take some time and definitely dive into those today. Okay. Now, when we're thinking about doing YouTube for business, well, at least for me, oh, wait, before I get started, I want to let y'all know that I am doing a giveaway. So if you want to get a free YouTube audit or you want to get 197 off of my YouTube program, the Low Lift Club, definitely be sure to keep on commenting inside of this live. Hello, Petra. So nice to see you here. So let's get into like this tea because I think it's pretty interesting. Let me make sure that I have all my things together. Sorry, y'all. There we go. Okay, we're good. Now, the first unpopular truth that I think people don't think about is that you're going to start getting recommended people in your niche that have more videos and views than you. So when you start, like literally when you start creating content on YouTube, you're going to start getting other similar people in your own home feed, in your own like kind of like suggested or anything like that, right? It's just because you're starting to talk about this thing and now YouTube thinks that like you will also like this thing. And when I tell you the amount of like imposter syndrome that came in when I started seeing these like amazing other YouTube experts doing their thing, telling the girls what they need to do, and they have like such polished setups, they have such great equipment. They just, I don't know how to explain it. Like they just explained it so well, right? To where I was almost like fangirling a little bit, right? And then I also became a little bit insecure. And so because I started thinking, okay, here I am, a YouTube expert on YouTube talking about how to get clients with YouTube. And I'm thinking that, oh my gosh, people are going to be competing with, like, I'm going to be competing with these other larger channels to get people to watch my rinky dink videos. And so I'm over here thinking that, like, I'm over here thinking that, like, oh my God, everyone's going to go over to see Vanessa Lau. Everyone's going to go over and see Trina Little. Everyone's going to go over and see Think Media. Everybody's going to go over and see, insert Nick Moulton or whatever, any other YouTube expert that is doing like such a great job. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to like, disregard whatever I say and just listen to these people. So what's the point of me even starting? I literally had that insecurity in my head for so long. And that was really when I started like really doing my thing, right? Because that doesn't really happen when you like first start when you first start getting started. It kind of happens after you start like kind of feeling really good on camera, and then you start seeing all these other people, and you're like, oh, am I really doing that well? And it starts making you think, okay, I should probably be upgrading because all these other people in my niche, they're upgrading, they're getting their stuff, they're making, and it's like the crazy thing, y'all. So when people start having, so you start seeing like people do like their little tech tutorials, or they start doing like, I'm upgrading my equipment, yay, right? It's like so wild to where I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do I need to do tech tutorials? Do I need to talk about my equipment? Do I need to talk about all these things? like so and so has like upgraded their equipment, they've changed their background, they've changed all this other stuff. Um, it was just such a comparison trap that I really want you to like really shake that shit off, because at the end of the day, your business is so different than anyone else's. And so when you start looking, so because this is how I look at it, right? At the end of the day, you're doing this for your business, okay? And so when we're thinking about stuff, it's not just enough to have a polished like set or cameras or all these jump cuts and all this other stuff, right? That doesn't matter if they are not set up to buy from you. And so with my offers, like my ideal clients love my offers, right? They seek help with YouTube support. They love the idea of having a strategist in your pocket. They love how intimate the Low Lift Club is. They love how it's like an accidental community of some sort, right? They love that. That's something that you cannot get in some of these bigger other like well-known YouTube expert type of like programs, right? And so I had to remember that I am the shit. Like I am creating the offers that my people truly want, right? Because think about this. Everybody loves them some Oprah, but not everybody can be in a room with Oprah. She's great for just like, just watching videos every now and again, but when it's time, when it's really time to get work done, you are seeing who? A therapist. You are seeing who? A life coach. You are getting a health coach. You are getting some kind of support from someone who is less well known than Oprah to help you with your initial like problems. And so I had to look at that, right? I may not be Oprah, but damn it, I'm a good service provider for my clients. And it's so funny. Like after I kind of had that realization, oh, you can tell me nothing. I started showing. I started showing up so differently, right? Like all like I think 2 years ago, I literally did a whole series of videos. Like for the rest of that year, I recorded with my webcam, with this webcam that I'm using right now, with this webcam and this Yeti microphone. And I did that because I knew that my ideal clients, they were always stressed out about using equipment, right? And so what I said to myself was, I'm going to show them that I can still get clients with YouTube. I can keep on getting people added to my email list. And I didn't have to buy a damn thing. I just showed up and I just used these things. And so for all of these videos that you see up on my channel, most of them were made with my webcam for like a whole year, just so I could show people, no, this could work. I'm doing stuff like that because I'm really tapped into my ideal client. I'm tapped into the type of support that they need, to the type of coaching, the type of consulting that they need, right? They need people who are in the trenches with them now and can really understand where they're coming from, what their needs are right now. And so that was something that really, really helped me build my confidence. And now my cat is messing with a plastic bag. Um, and so I want you to understand that you do not have to worry about all this big equipment. You don't have to worry about, like, even if you're like some kind of like finance coach, you may see some of these amazing finance coaching or finance advice YouTube channels out there, and they have a whole setup, they have a whole video podcast type of thing going up. Most of the time, that stuff is just because they have the resources to do it. Okay. And yes, it may help them get clients, but what you're doing now can also help you get clients. And I don't want you to let your comparison trap mindset that you probably have right now to stop you from moving forward, because they may be the Oprah, right? Well, you may see them as the Oprah of the of the industry that you're in, but let me tell you this: not everybody can work with Oprah. There's enough out here for everybody. Okay. And there's going to be a time where Oprah can't take nobody, where Oprah isn't taking anybody. Oprah's gone to do just media appearances. And so what now? Oprah ain't helping nobody. Right. So there's no, like, I feel like I'm taking this Oprah metaphor a little bit too much, but I want you to understand it does not matter, right? There is always going to be space for you. There's always going to be space for other people in your niche, okay? You do not need to be the biggest fish in the pond in order to be successful here. And it really took me time to really understand that. So I really want to drive that home for you. So switching gears to like the next unpopular truth that I really needed to understand was that YouTube is not about you. It's about your audience. And I had to really drop my ego. Okay. I really had to drop this ego, man. And I had to understand that that this platform works so different than other social media platforms where you get rewarded by showing more about you and your behind the scenes and things like that, right? You get rewarded when you show that kind of stuff up on Instagram and Threads and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that you can't do that on YouTube, but let me tell you this: what you're going to notice is the successful entrepreneurs that are leveraging YouTube for their business have shared their personal side or like their behind the scenes side, like that more connection type of content after they have built a solid foundation with their expertise on the channel. Everybody starts out with leveraging their expertise first. Every successful YouTube channel, Aaron on Demand, Gary Vaynerchuk, Sunny Lenarduzzi, whoever, you know what I'm saying? They all start out with teaching and showcasing their expertise. Okay. And then you start seeing these like more elevated things. Then you start seeing, you start seeing like they're behind the scenes. You start seeing them maybe even doing a vlog every here and there, right? Or maybe they're talking about something slightly different than like that's directly related to their expertise and people love it, right? It's because they built the audience. It's because they built an audience of people who are there for their expertise, right? And then they care. And so now they see value in that personalized like connection type of content as well. A lot of times I started my YouTube channel and I was doing some vlogs and nobody was watching those vlogs. They were about all kinds of different things. And and it was literally like just so heartbreaking for me to go in and invest all this time and energy and resources into vlogging and then not to have someone like watch them. And it was because I didn't build the audience yet. I didn't build the audience yet for them to care about this specific part of my journey yet. Okay. Let me go to the chat. Okay, let's see. Toffler. I think Toffler, did you ever send me an email? I feel like you sent me an email one day. That name sounds so familiar. Okay, definitely have a sense of inadequacy with all the beautiful editing and green screen overlays, intros and outros. Yes, it's natural. It's so natural to have that feeling. But I really love to push to drive home to my members and my clients that like you are on a different journey. If that's what you desire, if that is the way, if that's the video quality that you desire, you will get there, but you have to take steps. You have to get on the journey. It doesn't just happen immediately. no one's video quality, no one's like that whole stuff doesn't happen immediately. Okay. And if it does happen immediately, it will also stop even faster because they had no strategy. They didn't really understand why they were doing it. And then they ended up they ended up like not really they ended up not getting results, right? Because they started with like this whole aesthetic first. Okay. Petra says, I love that. Don't be the Oprah of your industry, be the Jamar of your industry. Yes. Toffler says, how did you get really clear on who your customer was and their needs and pain points? This is such a great question. So one of the easiest ways that I recommended doing this is by having like one-to-one like strategy sessions or these one-to-one moments. I'm all for, because here's the thing, like I'm all for having market research calls and stuff like that. But I like to know from the mouths of the people who are giving me money what their needs were, what were their pain points, what were their challenges, why did they seek me out, right? What were they doing before working with me? How do they feel after working with me? Right. And that doesn't mean, and I gather all this data, not just from having like a signature offer, right? I built my signature offers off of that information. But if I'm just starting out, or if I ended up I'm just kind of just testing out and I just want to do some more market research. Maybe I already have an established business, but I just want to really kind of check the pulse and like check back in with my ideal audience. I open up one-to-one strategy calls. I open up those one-to-one opportunities just for like a quick 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour call where I'm answering questions for them. I'm giving them these wins. I'm giving them solutions to their problems, and I'm learning more about what's going on in their world. And that helps me make decisions for future initiatives, right? And so that's kind of how I do it. Some people may say like read people's like comments and stuff like that, and you can, but there's nothing better than someone who is already in like your marketing ecosystem and is willing to give you, and you can charge $150 for all I care, $50 or whatever. If they're willing to give you something in exchange for an hour of their time, right? And you're answering their questions, and like you're like really like it's like a strategy call, right? It's like a strategy consult, whatever you want to call it. Literally, you're getting so much value. You're getting so much value from that. And that's how I was able to get really clear on their like wants and needs and pain points. And that's just for me. So like this may look a little bit different for other people as well. Like maybe one-to-one sessions aren't like in your industry like a thing. Maybe it's like a workshop. Maybe it's some type of like some other type of event or some other type of thing to where you can literally get face to face with someone, whether it's Zoom or whatever, and really hear what their needs are without there being so much of a barrier to entry. Hi, Jesse. Yes, Toffa has sent you an email. I now switched to my YouTube channel name. Oh, okay, great. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Hello there. Jesse also says, business in general never happens immediately. Everything is all about the journey. Yes, so true. Okay. And so speaking of that journey, kind of just going back to how YouTube isn't about you, it's about your audience. I needed to let go of showing like that kind of like behind the scenes vlogging style type of thing. And not even, and I'm talking about vlogging now. How this would apply to now would be, I've had people come to me and they say, people want to know about my behind the scenes. I feel like YouTube would be that platform for that. And I'm like, no, it's not. If your audience wants to know about your behind the scenes, why not? Why don't you show that on the platform that they're asking for that on? Right? Show that to them on Instagram. keep them there, right? Let that still be your nurture connection content. That's great. And so it's not just for, like, a lot of people like to just kind of change platforms to elevate. And it's like, no, if that's where you are in your journey for Instagram, to where people want to like know more about you, share that information on Instagram, build that connection. Because if that's the missing piece for them to get deeper into your funnel, put them there. They're already there. They're probably very solution aware. And now they just need to add in a few bit more connection points with you. Why make a whole new platform just for that? And so what I always post to them is to build your attraction-based platform, which is YouTube. Use the search engine to your advantage so that you can continuously get new people in your marketing ecosystem, right? You already have this platform where it's like Instagram or Threads or whatever, and you're nurturing the heck out of them. Let's add more people to your ecosystem all the time, every single day. Use YouTube for that. And then after a while, after you build your audience up on YouTube, then you'll be able to also add in some more of that connection content as well, because you build that audience on that platform. Very similar to how you do everything else, right? Like that's kind of how you build platforms. You give the people what they want. They start liking it. They start liking it some more. They start asking more questions. They start wanting to know more about you, right? That's just how you build platforms in general. And so it's never been about you up front. It's always about what you can do for someone else. How can you serve your audience? And how can that relate to the end of the journey, which is for them to buy something? Okay. And then the next one that I have here. So I wrote all of these things out in a whole, like, I had a whole like a think stream happening. So I just wrote down all these notes. The next unpopular truth is you're going to have a handful of videos that don't take off like you thought. And that is going to be okay. You are going to have videos that probably only got a few dozen views. And that is going to be okay. It happens to everyone, especially if you're starting out. Okay. I want you to really, really be okay with that and understand that not every video is going to be a hit, but you can always do things to help like re-optimize it. Like maybe you need to change the title, maybe you need to change the thumbnails, right? But like you have to understand that not every video is going to get hundreds of views. Let's see. So I have a question here in the chat. How do you get comments and engagement on YouTube? So this kind of comes into the scripting process, to where one of the easiest ways to get comments and engagements is just to ask for them. Like if you are, I like to, there's like some kind of, there's like an engagement question that I like to ask inside of my YouTube videos. And it's tied to a specific type of like point that I'm making. And most of the time I ask a question that is not open-ended. I ask a question that is either a multiple choice type of thing, right? So, like, what are you doing? Like, which platform are you on the most? Is it YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram? Right? And like, let me know in the comments below. And people will be more likely to answer a multiple choice question than like an open-ended one, to where they're like, tell me about a time, tell me if you're struggling with X, Y, and Z and how that's working for you. I would love to know in the comments. That will never work. They are not going to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take too many brain calories and they do not come down here to like work even more. And so what I like to do is have my members ask some type of multiple choice question. And then what happens is people will either answer that question, or they'll say their own question, like, or they'll say their own answer, right? And that's just feels more easier to them, right? People love giving their opinions. And so if you give them, like, if they say, like, what kind of sandwich do you like, peanut butter, jelly, or ham and cheese, they're going to say, oh, I hate ham and cheese. I'd rather have a roast beef sandwich, something like that, right? That's what I would recommend. Okay. This is so great. So while we have some people here, I want to also let you know that I also am doing a giveaway. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do the free YouTube audit or the 197 off of the YouTube program. Let me know which one you may be interested in the chat, and that will be the determining factor of which one I'm going to give away. All right. So the next unpopular truth that I have for you is going to be that you're going to go through a time where you doubt if you are doing the right thing. A lot of times we are using YouTube and we don't know what the heck is going on up on the back end. And I started looking at my analytics like four-ish years ago. I never really looked at my analytics when I first started, and that was such a big mistake. And if I looked at my analytics and if I really took the time to understand my analytics, understanding my data, I probably would have been making a lot better decisions. And so, but this is such a popular thing that happens to business owners, regardless, is that we get so focused on the doing and the outputs, right? That we don't focus on the impacts, or we don't focus on really understanding what's happening on the back end and what can we change or make better. We just keep on doing the same things over and over. And we don't make any changes based upon the data that we're getting. Instead, we just keep on doing the same thing. And then after like 6 months, we're like, didn't work. I gave it a chance. I gave it a chance and it didn't work. Instead, marketing strategy in itself is such an iterative phase. You have to optimize. You have to look at the data and make changes based upon that, and make adjustments to the strategy. Right. So it's always a growing thing. It's always a process. And so I wish that someone had told me to just focus more on that data. And so I'm telling you now, literally, you will save yourself so much time and energy and resources if you just look in the back of YouTube analytics. I have a YouTube video all about YouTube analytics and the metrics, like literally. Please understand that. But then also, I like to give us some type of like momentum boosters too, right? So you may see on, like, if you follow me up on Instagram, you may see right now that I send myself a notification whenever someone opts into one of my email lists, and it tells me where they came from. So I get a little like excitement whenever I see that someone came from YouTube or Threads or Instagram or LinkedIn, right? I get to see that in real time. And so I have that kind of immediate, that's kind of like how I get my immediate gratification, and it pushes me to keep on going, right? And so find what you need in order to find what you need in order to keep that momentum going. Okay, that's going to be really, really important for you. Let's see what This Way to Fabulous says. That's because so many industry stigmas focus so much on repetitions, not the work that needs to happen in between. That's such a great point, Jesse. Yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, there's so much work that has to be done in between. So that's why it could be such a great answer to why I'm seeing people that they just keep pushing forward. They just keep pushing forward as if they're like white knuckling it, right? And that's kind of why I hate that saying when people say, "Oh, just be consistent. Just be consistent. Just keep going." Like there's so many, when it comes to YouTube, there's so many very successful YouTube experts out there that focus on doing work with creators, and they tell them just keep just keep posting. Just get through to your first 100 videos. And if someone were to hear that, they would think, okay, I'm just going to keep on making 100 videos and then something should happen. And it's like, no, that's not what they mean. What they really mean is you have to master the craft. You have to build the muscle, put in the reps. You have to understand the platform. And you can't do that unless you keep on producing. And when you keep on producing, you're looking at analytics. You're looking at audience retention. You're looking to see which videos are driving traffic to your website. You're looking to see which videos are getting the most opt-ins, right? You're understanding what's happening. And the more data that you put into YouTube, the better that it helps YouTube, but the more that it helps you too. And so I hate, so that's kind of one of the things where I'm like, don't just tell people just to make 100 videos when that's not what you mean. And I know that's not what they mean because they're very smart. They're very, very smart. But for business owners, they would just do it. And then they're like, well, YouTube didn't work for me. Then they give it up, which that's their prerogative. But I knew if I was able to get my hands on them, I would have been able to help them. Petra says, I'm excited for the monthly reviews in the Low Lift Club so I can get data-driven feedback. Yes. Oh my God, yes. I actually just did 2 of them today, Petra, for 2 people that had submitted it because they had already completed the month 3 stuff. And oh my gosh, it's just so much. I'm like really, really excited for yours. I think after Saturday you get to unlock that. So let's get to it, honey. I'm so excited for that. Okay. Now let me go back to my notes here, y'all. Yeah. So going back to if you're going to start doubting if you're doing the right thing, I would really implore you to look at your analytics and really understand how to track things. For example, in the Low Lift Club, I have a whole module on analytics, like how to read your YouTube video analytics, how to read your channel analytics, how to track your website traffic and track the conversions that happen from your website. Okay. And then also like how to send them to you in real time. But you really understanding like where does your traffic come from? Like how much of your lead magnet conversions are coming from YouTube? How many are coming from Instagram? How many are coming from Threads? How many are coming from LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever? How can you track that and really see so that when you look at your data, you have a full picture of what's going on? I know it's not sexy, but let me tell you, that is one of the biggest determining factors from someone to understand if YouTube is working or if they're doing the right thing or not. And so many people don't do it, and so they don't know where their email subscribers are coming from. But then they see like low reviews. I have channels that I have worked with that have low subscribers, low views, but they're getting email subscribers every single day. You have to look at the data. Okay. Let's see. And this brings me to the next point here is when times get tough, you'll start trying to find immediate ROI on a long-term strategy. Let me tell you, I did that so hard, right? Because I wasn't tracking the data. I was trying to figure out how to get an immediate ROI because I'm like, am I doing the right thing? How can I like get action going, right? How can I make me some money? Like what's going on here? And so I'm starting to try. And then when you don't know, when you're not looking at the data, you start kind of thinking, well, is this worth it anymore? You start to forget that this is a long-term strategy. You start and so I stopped asking the right questions. I stopped asking questions like, where are my views coming from? Why aren't my videos taking off? right? Or why aren't they being found in YouTube search? Or what's going on? Where are my views coming from? And then I also am looking at, okay, well, why are they not going to my website? What's going on there? Are they landing on my lead magnet? Is the lead magnet converting? Is the lead magnet the best fit for YouTube? Right? I stopped asking those questions. And instead, it took me to the next unpopular truth is that you're going to want to start to create a paid lead magnet. You're going to start to want to create that because you want to see that immediate ROI. You start feeling resentful. You start to feel resentful because nothing is happening. You start to see low views. You start to see like all this work that you're doing, and you're like, well, why aren't the clients coming? When that's not technically how YouTube works. But we have invested so much time, energy, and resources that we're already doubting if we're doing the right thing. We're trying to see this immediate ROI now. And now we're like, well, the easiest way to have an immediate ROI is like, let's get these people to give me $27 on a lead magnet. What if I just put out a $9 lead magnet, right? Of course they'll buy that. And they don't. and they don't buy that. And then you're like, what's going on here? And the truth is I know that there's a great strategy when it comes to paid lead magnets, but for YouTube, they do not work as the only thing available for someone to go into your marketing ecosystem. I know some people don't want to hear that, but it's because they want to see that immediate results, and they think that people who opt into a freebie are not as committed or not as serious or not as qualified, right? Sure, someone that pays you $9, I guess, could be more qualified to buy something that's $147 now, or whatever, right? But that doesn't mean that the person who gets the freebie is not going to do that either, right? People who use YouTube are in different phases of their life, right? There are different people are when people are searching for YouTube, you do not know where they are in the funnel. Where are they in that stage of awareness, right? Most of the time they're in the problem aware phase, and they're trying to figure out what is their problem. They have a pretty good idea of what their problem is, they think, but most of the time it's just a band-aid of what the real problem is. Right? Like I had a client, like I have a member in the club right now, and I just did her channel audit, and and her mission, her purpose, her power statement for her business is so powerful. It's and I'm going to butcher it, but it's basically all about helping people create better client experiences so they can get paid faster and re-sign clients even faster, right? And so that's cool, but like that's her knowing at the highest level what the problem is, right? The problem is their client experience is janky. But let me tell you this, the person who she needs to work with is not that aware that the answer is client experience. To them, the answer is, I need to fix these damn Dubsado workflows. I need to figure out how to set up a referral list. How do I get more affiliates? How do I get clients to re-sign? Right? That's what they're thinking about. Okay. Why did I talk about this? I don't even now I got carried away. Man. Damn. I've been lost track. But basically, that's kind of one of the things that I think people need to understand, right? They're talking to people at a whole different level. Anyway, y'all, I don't forgot where I was going with that. Sorry. This is probably why I need slides. Oh my gosh. What is so Jesse says, kudos, Jamar. As experts, it's our job to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Yeah. Yeah. And so back to this like paid lead magnet thing, I really want you to understand that when you end up making this paid lead magnet, you're not going to get the people that you're going to end up being even more mad because literally no one's going to get it. Oh, that's where I was coming from. Okay, now I remember. This is so funny. Yes, I'm like a freaking squirrel. Oh, thank you, Petra. How is Petra changing her YouTube account? Thank you, Petra. Um, so so when people are problem aware, they don't know that they have this problem. So they're not quite ready to buy yet. That is what I was talking about. Thank you, Petra. They're not quite ready to buy yet, even if it's $9 to you. You think to you because you've been in the game and you're like, I only work with serious clients, right? That's how we think about it. But understand that people, they are serious, but they are not as aware as what you think they are. And that's just not the purpose of YouTube right now. Once they enter into binging your YouTube videos, okay, maybe they'll be more open to that, right? But you are missing out on so many opportunities of first touch by having this paywall immediately after they watch a video for you. Let's get them into your ecosystem. Let's get them into your sales funnel. Okay. Let's get them into this freebie, this guide, this ebook, whatever, this free training, right? Let's get them in there and start the process of getting them into your funnel. Okay. This has happened before, man. This has happened before. I had a client and she was so great, but she wanted to do this paid lead magnet and we tried it out and literally during her time with us, she didn't get she only got like probably like one or two, like a handful of opt-ins from that paid lead magnet. When I know she would have been able to get so much more traffic to her to a free lead magnet if we had just made it free, made something else that was more suited for the problem aware person, right? When you have a paid lead magnet, that stuff will do wonders on Instagram and Threads and maybe even LinkedIn, right? They already know you. They may stumble upon you, but they get to go deeper with you, right? With YouTube, people are just coming out, they're searching for solutions, right? They're searching for understanding, right? And when they're in that phase, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to put out their credit card right now, like right now. We have to understand that, and that's okay, right? Oh my gosh, so this was so good, y'all. This was so good. So yeah, so I'm going to give away either an audit or 197 off of the Low Lift Club. Let me know which one you would be interested in doing. And I'm going to pick. So leave a comment now. Let me know that you're here. And then I'm going to I'm just going to start picking someone at random. This is my second to last live, y'all. I mean, I'm going to do more, but I'm part of the Low Lift Club Life Challenge, and we had to do 8, and I have my last one next week. I'm so excited for that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go ahead and pick. Hold on, let me close my eyes. Okay, I have Prospera, well-being. Where you at, girl? You still here? Hi, Shauna. Oh my gosh. Hi, Shauna. Oh, you're still here. Okay, you're here. Okay, you said that you wanted the audit, I believe. I'm going to put my email in the chat. Please shoot me an email and I'll give you the next steps for the audit. Okay, y'all. Are there any, so before I end, are there any questions are there any YouTube questions that I could answer? I kind of just started talking on it and I didn't even leave room for Q&A. Wow. Oh my goodness. Let me know if there's any questions. This way to fabulous. What did she say? Any of the goods just to chat with you, but I think the audit is most aligned with my current season of biz. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like these lives are such a it's so different. Like some people will be like, oh, I want the audit. Others will be like, get me in the club. And I'm like, okay, let me pick which one I want to sell. I want to do. Okay. I don't see any questions. Y'all have been amazing. There are free resources in the video description all about how to either launch or revive your channel. Okay, so definitely take a look at that. It's going to be worth the time for you to go through them. You're going to learn something new. And yeah, if you have any other questions, put them in the comments after this video goes live. And I will see you next week in my next live stream. Have a wonderful day.